Hello and welcome to the daily newscast within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us on the frequencies available on our website, firstua.com. I'm Victoria Zabiyan and thank you for joining us. Fight during the session of Odessa City Council. Activists of Euromaidan were outraged of the fact that today member of council did not consider a question about admitting Russia as an aggressor. It was not even an agenda. Activists tried to block the tribune. They screamed Trukhanov to the dust hole. He is the mayor of the city. Security of the mayor's office showed out activists from the hall. One of activists said that he was beaten despite of the fact that he was calm. Now man wants to write a police statement. This night, enemy did not use weapons along all dividing line, ATO headquarters reports. Evening also was calm.
Yesterday, from 6 p.m. till midnight, only one case of violation of ceasefire by the illegal armed groups was stated. During the day, terrorists were shelling out key point located to the south from Avdiivka with small arms and grenade launcher.
In Stanitsa Luhansk, a woman was wounded. Regional administration reports she touched the mine with chopper. Representatives of administration reports that outskirts of the front line are full of mines and shells. People are asked not to visit woods and fields until the mining would be over. And Avdiivka, which is on the front line near Donetsk, come back to peaceful life. Kindergartens and school work there. People say that previous year pupils did not visit school. Then the settlement was fired upon with multiple rocket launchers.
I am officially employed and I receive the official salary to pay for gas and water. At one moment I lost everything and I want to live under Ukrainian government. I don't need any imaginary republics. They ask why there has been no shelling, whether or not we are preparing for something. But in general, everyone wants to live in peace, and some people support us and ask when all is this to be ended.
Poland lent Ukraine 100 million euros for building of a new common border. Such a document was signed in Warsaw, which was visited by Ukrainian Prime Minister and Ukrainian government delegation. Poland gives this credit for 30 years. It is planned to build 7 checkpoints. During the meeting with Polish Prime Minister Ewa Kopacz, Ukrainian Prime Minister talked about war in Donbass. According to Arseniy Yatsenyuk, elections on temporarily occupied territories will interfere Minsk agreements.
These efforts belong exactly to the Russian Federation, because I do not believe that these bandits in Donetsk and Lugansk can make their own decisions. They are nothing. All of them are Russian mercenaries. The conduction of any illegal election on that territory will definitely lead to the total disruption of the Minsk agreements. We agree that the conflict in Donbass cannot be settled by the means of force. Poland supports the peaceful negotiations based upon the Minsk agreements despite their weakness. We understand and strongly support the Ukrainian position that the execution of political provision is impossible until Russia withdraws its armed forces and fulfills the Minsk agreements.
In Warsaw, the Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk commented upon the words of Alexander Bystrykin about his supposed participation at First Chechen War.
That is the clinical diagnosis of the Russian authority. That is the Stalin's justice combined with the Goebbels propaganda and confirmed and signed by Vladimir Putin.
The claim about the Prime Minister of Ukraine fought in the First Chechen War in 1994-96 years, the chairman of Russian Investigative Committee Alexander Bystrykin stated in an interview to Russian newspaper. According to him, Yatsenyuk participated in at least 2 conflict clashes in Grozny, the capital city of Chechnya. After the interview, Internet immediately reacted to the words of Bystrykin with altered images. Ukraine will renew the amendments to the constitution if Russia will not fulfill Minsk agreements. About that, Petro Poroshenko claimed during the meeting of the Council of Regions. According to the president, if it is necessary, he will introduce martial law or an emergency rule. Then the amendments to constitution will not be made.
The current government's direct obligation is to ensure the flawless conduction of these elections as such as high level as the presidential and parliamentary campaigns were. Each head of state administration is personally responsible not for the results of the presidential political party, but for the purity of the process and conformity of all stages of the election with the OSCE standards and rules of European political culture.
Theaters for 4 European countries are playing in Kyiv for the children, immigrants from Donbass. There are puppet shows, street performances and circus. All of them are free of charge. Some of them are on the original language, but most of the plots of these shows children understand without knowing Polish, Czech, Slovak or German. In a day, actors gave 5 performances. Our journalists came back from the last one.
The performance of Helena Skuzarova's stage play Goes in Once starts from the popular song. There are only 2 actresses on the stage, but except playing main roles of Sister Nastya and Brother Ivasik, they also play all other characters. Everything is moving and singing in this performance. With the songs, with the audience, come and see this performance. We do not avoid foreign innovation, but we strain after hours. The actresses constantly keep the contact with the audience, ask children to call the brother or give the goose away. During stressful moments, kids are getting silent, and when everything ends, they're extremely glad. I was laughing when there was such music. I was drumming. They were hiding behind the heater, river, and ran to their houses. Reaction is superb. We like it so much. The girls did a good job. Children were able to see several performances during the day. The entrance fee for the immigrants, orphans, and the children of ATO militants is free. The ground in front of the theater is also open for entertainment. Besides watching the performances, they can simply play, draw. We have different interactive amusements for them. Actors as entertainers play with kids to turn them away from the war memories and present them a good mood. Theatre of Poland, as Austria, Czech Republic and Slovakia will play at the Puppet Theatre tomorrow as well. The immigrants can receive an invitation in the Polish institutes. Then the program Access to the Children move on tour to Vinnytsia. Olesia Varlamova, Andriy Sovruk, Miroslava Savisko, First Ukraine.
Read deep in Lviv. That is the slogan of this year's book forum, which is held for the 22nd time. 22 member countries, 350 authors, almost 1,500 of different events, are 30,000 of visitors. Our journalists saw the first day of the forum.
Autograph sessions, presentations, discussions, meetings, but the most important, of course, is the book fair. The organizers say the forum has grown this year up to 60 locations all over the town. The children orchestra is organized separately in the Sheptytsky Museum. The book about Bishop Andriy is published for the first time. The most important information is said there in alphabetic order. It is about 23 years in which those who were loved by Andriy Sheptytsky the most were forgotten, children. Thanks to Sheptytsky, the orphanages were established. What's more, the book was written not only for children, but for their parents as well. Books about war are the hits of a current forum. For example, Sergei Sloiko's Airport, which is about the fighting at Donetsk airfield. Russian author lives in Texas now and works for Los Angeles Times. He has already been offered to make a Hollywood scenario from the story of Ukrainian cybers. He's the only foreign journalist who has been there for the full 4 days. He ate, slept, and almost fought with us. We have published an edition of 10,000 copies of this book. It was published on the 2nd of September and came into the market on the 3rd. And if we didn't leave the books for Lviv Forum, we would have sold 3,500 copies. We didn't expect such a rush. The other recorder broker is Nadia Savchenko's book, The Powerful Name Nadia. The one who presents the books of the forum is Vera, sister of Ukrainian pilots. She says it was Ilya Novikov, lawyer of Nadia, who inspired her to start writing. There are stories about bondage and imprisonment in her monography. The book has been written very quickly, for a week or 2. It took a long time to set it up. It was transferred in ears by the small pieces of paper, notes, etc. And even on some of those clips of paper, there were some leaks from eardrops. As she had the inflammation of the nerve, the drops were injected. However, Vera Savchenko is not satisfied with book price. Now it is 165 hryvnias. She would like it to be available for every Ukrainian. The editors have already promised to print a cheaper version for 95 hryvnias. Many of the visitors complain about the book's expensiveness. The average price is 100 or 200 hryvnias. However, it didn't influence the fair attendance. There are as great many book fans as in previous years. Olya Krupnuk, Anatoly Kirichuk, Miroslava Sapisko, First Ukraine.
It was the United Country newscast by First Ukraine. You can find more details at our website firstu8.com. Victoria Zabiyan was working for you in the studio. Wish you only good news. Take care and goodbye.